What the Buddha taught. Chapter 1. The Buddhist Attitude of Mind. Among the founders of religions, the Buddha, if we are permitted to call him the founder of a religion in the popular sense of the term, was the only teacher who did not claim to be other than a human being, pure and simple. Other teachers were either God or his incarnations in different forms, or inspired by him. The Buddha was not only a human being, he claimed no inspiration from any God or external power either. He attributed all his realization, attainments, and achievements to human endeavour and human intelligence. A man, and only a man, can become a Buddha. Every man has within himself the potentiality of becoming a Buddha if he so wills it and endeavours. We can call the Buddha a man par excellence. He was so perfect in his human-ness that he came to be regarded later in popular religion almost as superhuman. Man's position, according to Buddhism, is supreme. Man is his own master, and there is no higher being or power that sits in judgment over his destiny. One is one's own refuge. Who else could be the refuge? Said the Buddha. He admonished his disciples to be a refuge to themselves and never to seek refuge in or help from anybody else. He taught, encouraged, and stimulated each person to develop himself and to work out his own emancipation. For man has the power to liberate himself from all bondage through his own personal effort and intelligence. The Buddha says, "You should do your work, for the Tathagata only teach the way." If the Buddha is to be called a savior at all, it is only in the sense that he discovered and showed the path to liberation, nirvana. But we must tread the path ourselves. It is on this principle of individual responsibility that the Buddha allows freedom to his disciples. In the Mahaparinibbana Sutta, the Buddha says that he never thought of controlling the Sangha, order of monks, nor did he want the Sangha to depend on him. He said that there was no esoteric doctrine in his teaching, nothing hidden in the closed fist of the teacher, Acharya Mutti. Or to put it in other words, there never was anything up his sleeve. The freedom of thought allowed by the Buddha is unheard of elsewhere in the history of religions. This freedom is necessary because, according to the Buddha, man's emancipation depends on his own realization of truth, and not on the benevolent grace of a God or any external power as a reward for his obedient good behavior. The Buddha once visited a small town called Kesaputta in the kingdom of Kosala. The inhabitants of this town were known by the common name Kalama. When they heard that the Buddha was in that town, the Kalamas paid him a visit and told him, Sir, there are some recluses and brahmanas who visited Kesaputta. They explained and illumined only their own doctrines, and despise, condemn, and spurn others' doctrines. Then come other recluses and brahmanas, and they too, in their turn, explain and illumined only their own doctrines, and despise, condemn, and spurn others' doctrines. But for us, sir, we have always doubt and perplexity as to who among these venerable recluses and brahmanas spoke the truth and who spoke falsehood. Then the Buddha gave them this advice, unique in the history of religions. Yes, Kalamas, it is proper that you have doubt, that you have perplexity, for a doubt has arisen in a matter which is doubtful. Now look, you Kalamas, do not be led by reports or tradition or hearsay. Be not led by the authority of religious texts, nor by mere logic or inference, nor by considering appearances, nor by the delight in speculative opinions, nor by seeming possibilities, nor by the idea, this is our teacher. But, O Kalamas, when you know for yourselves that certain things are unwholesome, akusala, and wrong, and bad, then give them up. And when you know for yourselves that certain things are wholesome, kusala, and good, then accept them and follow them. The Buddha went even further. He told the bhikkhus that a disciple should examine even the Tathagata, Buddha himself, so that he, the disciple, might be fully convinced of the true value of the teacher whom he followed. According to